The way it would work is know the values, know my accepted, unaccepted behaviors. From that, cull out what should be the organization values that will drive the vision and mission. And that's how we enable the organization to craft it. That's an example of an organization where values are entrenched across every aspect of the organization. So, client, process, focus. You put that together, the team is going to be a high-performing team. There is no doubt about it. So that is the secret of success.
What makes a team truly high-performing? And how can you create a culture where people thrive? In this episode, we dive into the key ingredients of a strong team culture. What works, what doesn't, and why do so many companies struggle to get it right?
Joining us in this episode is Yogesh Dani. He's an expert in leadership and team development with more than 30 years of experience. He conducted more than 1,200 leadership programs. He will break down the essential pillar of culture, what is the biggest roadblock the team face, and how insight discovery can help the team collaborate better together. If you are looking for an actionable step and strategies, this episode is for you.
If I am a leader, how can I know that I'm leading or working in a high-performing team culture?
That's a good question. So if you look at it in the lens of a model where one axis is on safety and the other axis is on accountability, a high-performing team would be one where the leader enables high accountability and provides high safety. So when you are on the ends of both the spectrum, you are on a high-performing team. So you're leading one of that, right? Okay. So for a leader, it's important that they enable the culture of accountability, whereas also provide an environment of safety. A combination of these two would lead to a high-performing culture and thereby a high-performing team.
How does that look in practice?
Okay. No, so let's look at safety first. So in a safe environment, people are aware of their conscious or unconscious biases. People are working on their own biases. Nobody is judging anybody. Nobody is blaming anybody in that sense. And so people are able to say what they want to say without the fear of reprimand or judgment. So that would be an environment in terms of a definition of what safety would look like. Okay. People are free and feel safe to say what they want. So the culture is a learning culture, not a culture. On the accountability side, similar thing where people own up to their accountabilities and people have the freedom to ask the others to take accountability of what they've committed to as well. So when I take my own accountability and deliver on it, or if I'm not taking my accountability and you have the freedom to tell me or ask me to take my accountability and I do it, is a high accountability culture. And so a combination of this is how it would look in an organization, culturally speaking. But it has to be grounded in values.
Oh, interesting. So you say that it must grounded in value. It says like, okay, you need to have that core value of the team first in order for you to build that high-performing teams.
Absolutely. For me, there could be many values. For me, one of the grounding values is the value of trust.
Right.
People trust each other, and not because they have to trust each other, but each of the individual is trustworthy to be trusted. That enables a clear value of high accountability. So trust for me is absolutely vital and important. I mean, there could be many other values that one could go after. The value of excellence, the value of innovation, creativity, ethics, many other aspects that one could look at. For me, what stands out for me is trust.
Right. So then if the company want to create a core value, how should they pick? Because you say it can be varies, right? It can be anything, but what would be the best way for them to able to pick what's the right core value for the team or the organization?
I like to use insights discovery for that. I've done that for some of my clients. And the tool I'm speaking about is insights discovery, right? So that's really what this is for. Super. Yeah, that's what it is. So the way I like to do it is when organizations are clear on their vision and mission,
Right.
what their ambition is for the, let's say, the next 5 years or the 10 years ahead. We want to use that with the leadership team, bring that into the conversation and use insights and say, okay, basis your profiles, what does the group energy look like today?
Okay.
Yeah, we do the assessment and find that.
Mm-hmm.
Once we've got into individual and the group assessments, we pretty much know how they are energetically today, which energy is higher, which energy is dominant, lower, all of that. And then we look at the vision and mission and say, basis this energy that you have and where you want to go, what are those things you value today? What are those things you want to value going forward? And from that, cull out what should be the organization values that will drive the vision and mission. And that's how we enable the organization to craft it. So it is a series of meetings and conversations. It's not just one session that it happens. But through a series of meetings and conversations with the core leadership group of the organization, we craft this.
One common pain that we have heard from teams is they have clearly defined values, but implementing them and abiding by them is another story. How
Correct.
do you ensure that the team continues or adheres to the norms that they have determined earlier?
Great question, actually. It doesn't stop there at values. And look, it could be different ways in which other consultants do or organizations do it. This is the way I would do it. Once we have the values established, it's very vital that the leadership group understands what are the accepted and unaccepted behaviors around those values. And then the leaders first become role models of those behaviors, the accepted and unaccepted behaviors. And then through a project or a series of programs, we want then the larger organization to imbibe those values and associated accepted, unaccepted behaviors. So the way it would work is know the values, know my accepted, unaccepted behaviors, leaders to role model it, scale it to the organization. And it takes time. It can take a year, it can take 2 years. It doesn't happen in a meeting, like I said. Once people have understood the behaviors, people hold each other accountable for those behaviors in a safe environment, in an accountable environment, and slowly and gradually incorporate it into your other practices, in your performance management system, in your interviewing process, in your exit process, in your engagement process, and you really make it part of the habit in the organization. It's then culture. It's easier said than done. I accept it. But it's not impossible. We've done this, and we've done this for a few organizations. So we have the ability to get it done for the organization.
Yeah, I think in Thailand, one of the organizations which is quite prominent when it comes to showcasing their culture and values through their acts, through what they do, is I think Thai Union. Would you say that?
There are quite a number, actually. But Thai Union seems to be very strong in how they built the organization's culture through the value that they really uphold.
Sure. I mean, in India also, we have many, many organizations, some of the clients we work with as well. I mean, one of the prominent examples of organizations who talk about values and live it is the Tatas, the Tata Group, right? So I'm not saying we've done work for Tatas, not in this space, in other spaces, yes. But that's an example of an organization where values are entrenched across every aspect of the organization. It does show up in how they perform and how the organization delivers to the customers and to the clients.
How do I know that the culture I have has the foundation, has the four legs to stand on?
A few things that would definitely come through is everybody's connected to the vision. There is clarity on what we are working on, the methods of working, what we are measuring, the processes around it. There would be high agility in the organization. People will be very collaborative, so there will be flow, and the climate will be of trust and cohesion.
Right.
And so if you bring it, it brings us back to insights.
Yeah.
For me, if you look at the pillars, for me, those are the 4 pillars. So this is flow, climate, process, focus.
Exactly.
Is there any practicality that we can look at that? Okay, because now we're talking about like the kind of high wheel, right? Okay, there is flow, there's climate, there's trust, and there's focus and all.
So actually, if you really look at it from the point of view of the culture, you don't even first need to go to the entire organization. You can even do a test of it in a team.
Right.
If we do a small team process where we get the team members to take their profile, create what we call a team wheel, right? And that's the team wheel that you're showing on the screen now, right? So the team wheel, if you see, shows us where everybody is on that and
Right.
what, therefore, the energy of the team looks like today. And if the team has a clear direction that it needs to go towards, a goal it needs to go towards, then it knows what energy it needs to have to go towards it. And that can help it build its culture in terms of where does it want to focus on, which energy would be the energy it needs to pay attention to in 6 months or the next 1 year, or a combination of energies it needs to focus on for it to achieve that goal, that objective. Scale it up. That's the same for the organization, right? So as a case scenario, we've done this for many teams where we get the team members to come in and do their profile. We create a team wheel around it, let the team understand what the dynamics are within the team, how who's behaving, and then we overlay that with what we call as a team wheel, which is a combination of where they are focusing, what's the climate, what's the flow like, what are the processes like, and helps the team understand what they need to move for themselves and within the team to make it work. And over a period of time, the teams become successful, become high performing, and you scale that up to all teams in the organization. Now you have an organization that's performing. And that's the way we recommend organizations to do it.
It sounds like, okay, we get a clear awareness of really where's the team are and which behavior, which will translate through each color energy that they should put as a roadmap to go towards the visions that they want to go.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. You see, so therefore the building block is we need to have clear vision, clear goals. It's part of the model.
Exactly.
If a team is not, or if an individual is not clear of their goals, then what are they going towards? What are they going for? So clarity of goal and purpose and vision, very important. Then how am I going to get there? Is everybody clear on their roles and responsibilities? Are we clear on the interdependent roles and responsibilities? Do we have a metric that we measure ourselves on? Do we have a method of operating? Are we having the processes? All of that is the how, the blue energy as we call it.
Yeah.
Then do we have a climate of trust and cohesion, which is the earth green energy? And finally, of course, is there agility, collaboration, innovation, all of that in the energy of sunshine yellow, which is the flow. You put that together, the team is going to be a high performing team. There is no doubt about it. So what I hear you is, how can organizations really take benefit of this? Is do a assessment with us for your teams. Get your teams a profile. Get a team team. Allow us a day or two first to just work with the team. Allow us some one-on-one sessions with a few members or all the members of the team. Do the debriefing with them. Get them support to shift their habits into the required behaviors. And for a period of time, which could be 3 months or 6 months, you should see a shift. And that's when the individuals will move towards being high-performing individuals, thereby the team becomes high-performing. So that is the secret of success.
Yeah, I'm convinced. But what I want to know more is, I'm a leader in Thailand or somewhere listening to this, and I have not heard of this model, but I know it's quite popular in companies in pharma industry, in healthcare, in FMCG are using this. Can you help me understand why is this so popular?
It's easy to use, or it's easy to understand. We have a 40-page profile, which is the full profile. It gives you a lot of content. Tells you your strength, weaknesses, your leadership style, management style, your interviewing styles, your selling styles. A lot of information is in that. We also have a a foundation plus management profile, which is only a 22-page profile, but has a lot of depth in it as well. And it is through this that individuals can understand more about themselves. I'm not saying this is the full universe. I'm sure you are bigger and better than or more than what this profile is. It gives you a sense of what you are, who you are. It tells you your blind spots. It tells you a lot more about your communication styles and barriers to communication or effective communication. So there is a lot of good information available in this profile, which can help individuals, teams, and organization to really shift from where they are to where they want to go. Why should they use this tool? It's simple to understand, simple to use, simple to remember, simple to apply.
True. Exactly. I think I would just want to add, like, along with simplicity, I find it quite relatable, easy to relate to. It's actionable. It gives you statements, unlike other personality profiles that people do. This one has individual actionable steps, and the team can also have actionable steps. And I think it becomes a language, a common language for communication in the team. I think which helps a lot, especially for having difficult conversations.
Correct. And by the way, it's a very reliable tool.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. I know this for sure. For a fact, British Psychological Society gave it a 4-star on reliability, which is pretty high.
Absolutely. Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's been in existence for now a good 25 plus years with almost 1 million assessments, or maybe more than 1 million assessments done. Maybe that number is not right, but so that's the scale at which this is deployed.
There was one question I wanted to ask earlier when we talked about defining the values, then acting on it. It's a process. But what if we want to go a few steps behind and we are in a team where trust is low?
So that's a good point. So here, let's say the challenge is that the kind of conflicts are people-centric conflicts and not idea-centric conflicts, if I can call it that. And the trust is low in the team, and that impacts performance. So that's definitely something that needs work. We do use insights for this as well, and we can use other means and tools to understand what is the current reason of why trust is low and help teams and individuals work through that. Sometimes it could be getting smaller groups together to work out their past issues, give them that clarity on whatever the reason of conflict is solvable, is repairable, and help individuals and teams work through that. So it's not just, again, only about insights, though insights is a big part of it, but also helps people understand the core reason of why trust is low, helping them work through that through one-on-one coaching sessions or just, group sessions, and come out on the other side where we build trust. Once team have a certain level of safety with each other, is when we can work towards moving them to being a high-performing team. So you just can't shift and lift them to the other side. Got to be able to help them work through the issue of trust. Why that the trust is low, solve that first.
Just to add to that, another reason which I find insights to be such a powerful tool, especially in conditions where the team's trust is low. And this comes from a lot of research done, especially by Vanessa Driscat, who's known for doing research on high-performing team culture. And she said the first thing, the most important thing that a team requires to build trust is how well the team members know each other. And by that, not just where they are from or the age, location, but also do they understand each other's working style, their needs, their interests. When it's a needs, like how do they like to give feedback or receive feedback, and much more. So I feel like insights is such a powerful tool there, where it helps people not just understand themselves, but understand their team members well as.
I agree with that completely. In fact, even before getting to know the other, isn't it really important, as you mentioned, to get to know yourself better? So knowing why I am the way I am, why I behave the way I behave, knowing my drivers for behavior is so vital. So yeah, I would put a lot of money on that to say, help people understand themselves, help them understand their styles, their patterns, their behaviors. Absolutely, yes. Then once they are aware of themselves, let them know the other.
If I'm a listener and I'm thinking like, okay, in my organizations, I'm using other tools already. Do I really need this? Or can I still use the same tool that my organization use and pick some things from here? Do I need to start all over again?
If you're already using tools and you're happy with it, continue to use them. We wouldn't recommend you to change because you're already having that language in the organization. However, if the organization is not getting benefit from that tool, I'm going to ask you to then try this out. See the result for yourself. And if it works for you, shift. But if you're already using tools that are helping you and are good for you, please do use them. We want your organization to succeed, and it's not about the tool only.